Hi everyone, so today we're going to be doing notes on section 4.1 and 4.2, which is all about writing linear equations. And then I'm also adding standard form because your book does not include standard form. Now, if you have these notes from yesterday and you haven't already taken them out, please go ahead and take these out now. We are going to use this as a reference. Now, I do want to point out this part that's up here at the top. If you feel comfortable just using this worksheet, you do not need to rewrite this at the top. This is a reminder. So if you want to write it again, go ahead and pause it and write this down. But what we're going to do today is actually looking at some examples. So first example, we are given that m, the slope, equals 3 over 2, and we are given the coordinate point negative 6, 6, and we want to write an equation in all three forms. So first thing I'm going to do is just rewrite this info that I was given over here off to the side. So I'm going to rewrite the m equals 3 over 2 and the coordinate point negative 6, 6, which that coordinate point is the x1, y1. All right, so what we're going to do now is first write this in point slope form. So in point slope form, that is the equation y minus y sub 1 equals m times x minus x sub 1. And we're just going to plug and chug, which basically just means we're going to fill in the information where it goes. So y minus y sub 1, which is 6, equals m, which is 3 over 2, times x minus x sub 1, which is negative 6. Now, the only thing I'm going to do for rewriting this is to simplify this minus a negative. So y minus 6 equals 3 over 2 times x plus 6. This is now in point slope form. That's all there is to it. So this form is awesome when you are only given one point and the slope. All right, let's next convert this over to slope-intercept form. Now, the reason I'm writing out the steps this way is because this is how it's going to be on your handout for your project. So rewriting this into slope-intercept form, I'm going to take this, bring it up here, and I'm just going to rewrite it. Y minus 6 equals 3 over 2 times x plus 6. Now for simplifying this, what I need to do first is distribute this 3 over 2 to both terms. So the left side is going to stay the same. Y minus 6 equals, now 3 over 2 times x is 3 over 2x. And then 3 over 2 times 6, that's like saying 6 over 1. Sorry, not 6 over 6. That's like saying 6 over 1. So remember, the rule with multiplication is you multiply the top and the bottom straight across. I'm actually going to rewrite this on the line below to give me a little bit more room. I'm just going to rewrite that. Y minus 6 equals 3 over 2x. That's what was already there. So when I do 3 over 2 times 6, multiply the top, 3 times 6, which is 18, and multiply the bottom, which is 2 times 1, which is 2. Now, if you're able to do that all in one step, that's perfectly fine. But I'm going to go ahead and do this in 2 steps. So if you can take this 18 over 2 and just write it automatically as 9, that is completely fine. But let's go ahead and rewrite this, 3 over 2x plus 9. And then my last step to get this into the correct form is to add 6 to both sides. Again, if you can do that adding 6 in your head and not show the work, that is fine. So 3 over 2x plus 15. All right, last step is standard form. Again, this is the same way that it's laid out on your animal project. The same order. So I'm just going to go ahead and rewrite this. So y equals 3 over 2x plus 15. Now, one of the rules is that your x and y need to be on the same side together, and that you cannot have fractions. So you have two options. You can either subtract the 3 over 2x from both sides first, or you can multiply to get rid of the fractions first. When I did this before and asked you the question in your notes, the poll was split pretty 50-50, but more people lean towards moving the x term first. So that's what I'll do here. So I'm going to subtract 3 over 2x. So when I do that, I get negative 3 over 2x plus y equals 15. So now, what number do I multiply this fraction by to make the fraction go away? Good, if you said 2, you are correct. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 2. But now I also want to point out, if I multiply both sides by 2, the x that's left is going to be negative. And the rule is that my x has to be positive. So I'm going to kill 2 birds with 1 stone and multiply by negative 2. That'll take care of my negative, a value, and my fraction. So negative 2 times negative 3 over 2 will cancel out the negatives and the 2, and I'll be left with just 3x. Negative 2 times y is negative 2y equals 15 times negative 2 is negative 30. Oops. And there we go. So now this is written in all 3 forms, and this is how it's going to be laid out on your project paper. You'll have point slope first, you'll convert it to slope intercept, then you'll convert it to standard. I wanted to do an example once with it written out the same way. You'll see it on your project. The next example, I'll give you a little bit more space when I do it, the example with you. All right, let's look at one more. All right, so for this one, oops, move that. Also, side note, for those of you who noticed, because I know I'm one of those students who always notices, sorry that this looks so awful. I can't grip anything with my left hand to actually take the polish off, so it just has to stay like that until I can get, until I can start using my left hand again. Some of you may not have noticed at all, so disregard that if you didn't notice. All right, second example. When we are given these 2 coordinate points, we want to write the equation in all 3 forms again. Now the difference here is that we're not given the slope up front, we are given 2 points. So what I need to do is use my slope formula. So I'm going to label these as x sub 1, y sub 1, x sub 2, y sub 2. Now again, that's just a label to help us remember what goes where, but if you were to switch those and make this the x2, y2, and this the x1, y1, it doesn't matter, as long as you're consistent. So first thing I need to do is find the slope. So m equals y sub 2 which is 1, minus y sub 1, which is negative 2. And you can put that in parentheses if you want. Sometimes it helps. Divided by x sub 2 minus x sub 1. Now when I simplify this, this is 1 plus 2 over negative 1, which is 3 divided by negative 1, which is negative 3. So now we have our slope. For putting this into slope-intercept form, we can choose which point we want to use. So what I'm going to use going forward is the m equals negative 3, and I'm going to use 1, 1, because both of the numbers are positive. So I'm just choosing to use that one. So now, using 1, 1, I'll write over here. That's what we're using now. So now this becomes my x sub 1, y sub 1. All right, so I'm going to do this one using more space on the paper. So point slope form. Is the y minus y sub 1 equals m times x minus x sub 1. And we're just going to plug and chug directly from this. So y minus y sub 1, which is 1, equals m, which is negative 3, times x minus x sub 1, which is also 1. I don't have any minus negatives or anything like that, nothing that can be simplified further, so that is my answer. Now I'm going to move over into slope-intercept form. So going over into slope-intercept form, oops. I'm just going to rewrite this. Y minus 1 equals negative 3, x minus 1. And I need to distribute this negative 3. So y minus 1 equals negative 3 times x is negative 3x. Negative 3 times negative 1 is positive 3. I don't have any fractions, which is nice. So all I need to do is get this y by itself. So I'm going to add 1 to both sides. And I get y equals negative 3x plus 4. And then the last form is standard form. Oops, coloring went off a little bit. So standard form so I'm going to take this and bring it down here and just rewrite it. So y equals negative 3x plus 4. And then the rules for standard form, x and y need to be on the same side. So I'm going to add the 3x to both sides. And I get 3x plus y equals 4. Now I'm going to do my checks. X and y are on the same side. We're good. No fractions or decimals. We're good. And my a value, or the x value, is positive. So we are good. Which means this is our answer. So now you've seen how to do this when you are given the slope and a point, or when you are just given 2 points. Going from point slope form to slope, I don't know why I pointed with that hand, sorry. Going from point slope form to slope intercept form to standard form. Now, of course, you could go backwards, but using this project, a point and a slope, is definitely going to be the easiest place to start. And then you'll work your way through the 3 different forms on your handout. All right, that is the end of our notes. Have a good rest of your day.